They also kind of want to get me off the phone too. They want to know what I need to say. They want me to email them, and that's it.
Is this a cold call?
Yeah.
Right, so this is, you want to learn how to do rapport building on a cold call?
Yeah, I mean, I've been cold calling for like quite a while, so like I would say I know how to do it, but it's just like different ideas.
You know what's more important to you than building rapport is the tonality that you use when you're on the phone. So
you have to be super happy all the time.
It's not even being about happy. It's about do you know anything about low status and high status tonality? No. I could go into a whole new talk with this, right? But I'm going to briefly go over it. Basically, right, so you've got your tonality says a lot about what sort of status level you see yourself as, right? So traditionally, right, I'm going to give a drastic example. Think of a king and think of a servant, right? If a servant was asking the king a question, say he's asking, how are you, right? How would the servant ask the king that? It would go, how are you? It would go up the way the French go up, right? That's the way it would be, because they're looking up literally at the king, because there's a higher status in him, and his tonality would also go up to match that as well. He'd be like, how are you? If the king who's on his throne was asking the servant, how are you? He wouldn't say, how are you? Because he's not talking up to it, he's talking down to it. So you need to think of how would you talk if you were talking down to someone. You would just say, you would either say, how are you? Let me get this right. You'd either have, like that. You'd either be like, how are you? Right? That's more breaking rapport, so that's speaking down. Or you would have neutral rapport if a king was speaking to another king, he would have neutral rapport, which would just be, how are you? Right? So it's not how are you, it's not how are you, because that's you breaking rapport and saying that I'm higher status than you. It would just be how are you. It's just straight. Right? So if you incorporate that tonality into your phone calls, you will make a world of difference.
So I'm neutral.
You should be neutral. You don't want to be
I would think that I would be up the way.
No. Why the fuck as a manager do I want to speak to you if you're below me?
Yeah, true.
And you don't want to be down away, because then I'm going to be like, who the fuck is this person speaking down to me? Fuck off, I'm going to put the phone down. Do you know what I mean? But what you want to do is, if you use neutral tonality on a subconscious level, the guy's thinking that, okay, this is someone that's on the same level as me, but they're also slightly confused because every single person that's phoning them will be using low status tonality to them. And if you're coming in neutral, they want to listen to what you say. So you'll need to really practice that, by the way, because that'll be difficult. Very difficult, but you need to so rather than say how are you?
How are you?
That's more neutral, by the way.
That's because she's talking to you.
That's because, right, so say how are you, Saf?
How are you?
That's neutral. That's neutral. Say it to Lorenzo.
How are you?
Like that was
That's a bit high.
That was higher. And you know why? You know why that was higher? Because because you know me, because you've seen me, right? You see me as neutral status, right? You've seen Saf on multiple occasions, so you see him as neutral status as well. You don't know anything about Lorenzo at the moment apart from what he's told you, so you're cautious. So that's why you used what's it called, a low status tonality there, because what you didn't want to do is rattle. He could be a really high status motherfucker, right? And you could rattle him by using neutral or high status tonality, breaking rapport tonality with him. Therefore, you chose to use the safe ground and just go with low status tonality. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Because I went into something completely different and actually rapport.
But that actually does make sense, because you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's actually like your cold calls. So he's
And
actually
literally the second that someone answers the phone, my voice like is completely different. Like I'd say that I've got quite a low voice normally, but I just go so like, hi, how are you?
Right, cold calling, right. Everyone talks about how you need to be upbeat and positive, which you do need to be, because if you sound depressed, like no one's going to talk to you, right? So you do need to be that, but like being in sales industry for a long time myself as well, what you'll find is a lot of people will go on the phone, right, and they'll be like, let's just use the company I'm in just now, they'll be like, hi John, this is Stephen calling from blah blah blah, how are you? Like that, and that's how they do it, right? If I was on the phone, it's like, hi John, it's Wokar from blah blah blah, how are you? It's a complete different situation. The other person on the other phone is listening to that and thinking, who the fuck is this? Do you know what I mean? Because they don't know, and especially Especially, it comes even more if you're speaking to a gatekeeper, right? If you speak to a gatekeeper, ideally you should use an authoritative voice. And so say Kate's a gatekeeper, right? And I say, answer the phone to me, please. Just say you're through to Kate's cafe.
Hi, how you doing? You're through to Kate's cafe.
Kate, it's Wakar. Can I speak to Jen, please?
1 minute.
Right. Okay. Answer that again. Answer the phone again.
Hi, Kate's cafe. How can I help you?
Hi, Kate. It's Wakar. Can I speak to Jen, please?
She's quite busy now.
You see the difference? It's a complete different scenario because the first time when I'm using neutral or even breaking report tonality with a gatekeeper, she's thinking, fuck, I don't know who this is. Is this the boss?
Yeah.
Is this his boss? Is this his friend? Is this his wife? Is this his lover? Who is it? Right? And she's just like, oh, okay, let me put you through. Do you know what I mean? The first, when I answer when I speak on the phone with a low status tonality, what happens is she's like, who the fuck's this low status motherfucker? I'm a gatekeeper, he's probably the bin man. Fuck him.
Because when it's high like that, I'm thinking, what do they actually want?
Yeah.
And actually, I don't really want to put you through. Whereas the first one was just more, I thought it's like, I'm on the phone, I want to speak to Jane, put me through to Jane. Like it wasn't questionable about putting me through.
Yeah, true.
Right, so that's how you would speak to gatekeepers, more neutral or breaking report, and just be direct as in, can you put me through to John, thanks. That's it, right? Don't even need to ask. And then obviously they might ask you what's it regarding, because if they're a good gatekeeper, they probably will. And then you deal with that accordingly, as long as you don't just start going up again and be like, oh, call me in regards to blah, blah. You keep your neutral tonality, right? So that's how you would speak on cold calls. Now once you're through, because the main thing is you getting through and getting the person to listen to you, right? So say, I'm going to be the student union manager, is that right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So my name's John, right? So you're calling me. You're going to be a gatekeeper here, right? So phone the gatekeeper and I want to hear you speak.
Your name's John?
My name's John.
Okay. I wasn't expecting all this role play today, jeez. Hi Kate, could I speak to John, please?
Just hold on a minute. And I'll see if I can put you through.
Okay, wait. That was a bit too. That was authoritative to the point where it was dickish, like as if you were his wife and you were in a bad mood
John's
with him.
been a bastard, let me talk to him.
Yeah, so what you'll do, right, is you'll need to find the balance, like you'll go way too far, and then you'll know you need to scale it back
a whole
a
load
bit.
of potential clients off.
Instead I was like saying, well, wait to see if I can put you through. Because I was
trying to think of, because I was literally calling these people today, I'm trying to think of what I was actually saying to them.
I guarantee you would have been using low status tonality.
I literally, like, genuinely, I can feel the way that I was going, ooh, like going up, like that.
So you do that again, right?
But I can't, like, do it forcibly.
But, Kate, can you answer the phone first? Because that's what would normally happen, you would answer the phone.
Okay, I'm going to try and say what I would actually say, what I was actually trying to say. Because I at this point, I didn't know who I was meant to be talking to.
It's me.
No, but I'm saying, like, when I was actually making the phone calls, I didn't know who I was meant to be talking to.
Okay.
So I was, like, actually trying to find out, like, I didn't know that the student association manager was a job.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I was saying, like, hi, I'm running a fundraising event. I'm just wondering who the best person to speak to about that would be.
And you would have just been hi.
Yeah, I would hi as fuck. I was like, hi,
Right. So imagine if you use neutral tonality or breaking report tonality, what the gatekeeper would be thinking on the other end is you're some boss of some big corporation. You're the fucking boss of Red Cross or some shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're
See,
using...
and also I have it in my head that I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing right now, which isn't great.
Right. So if you answer the phone, right, ring, and then answer and you go.
Hi, it's the City of Glasgow Student Union.
Okay. So what am I saying? It how I would.
So I want you to do. Okay. You use neutral tonality, right?
Yeah.
And be authoritative with your voice.
Okay.
And be assumptive that she's going to put you through anyway. Okay. So don't ask.
And do I know who I'm meant to be talking to or not?
John. John. Or call me Wacky if you want, like whatever.
I can call you John,
right? So ring.
Hi, City of Glasgow Student Union.
Hi Kate, can I speak to John please?
Yeah, just wait a minute.
Right,
Did I
so if you notice, right, when you answered the phone, and you'll notice this a lot with gatekeepers, your voice goes up Why does your voice go up? Because you don't know who the fuck's on the other line. If your boss is calling you and you're using neutral or breaking report tonality, he's going to be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Yeah.
But it's also out of politeness.
It's out of politeness.
So you always play that somebody coming on the phone is more important than you.
Yeah.
When you're doing that.
Yeah.
If you all receptions do that.
All of
them will do it.
All of them will do it. Unless they're just like really moody people, then you'll normally hear it in their voice. It's just like, yeah, how can I help?
But sometimes if you introduce yourself with the name, surname, and maybe the company could be better. You know, if you say, hello, it's Lorenzo Battista from Light on the Path. I'm looking for, or maybe, can I speak with John, please?
Yeah.
So maybe start like an alarm, no? Oh, yes, so.
That's right, but you're going into content. I want to focus more on context at the moment. So it's not about what you're saying, it's about how you're saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What you're saying is right, because it's better to say Jen from X charity than I'm Jen, can you put me through to blah blah, because you're actually telling them who you are, right? But if you do that again, right, and then speak to me, right? So ring.
Hi, it's Glasgow Student Union.
Hi, Kate, can I speak to John, please?
Yeah, no problem, put you through.
Okay, so it needs to be more straight, but that's fine, right? So then I'm on the phone, right? I'm like, hi Jen, how can I help?
What was I saying? Okay, so I was saying, hi John, I'm running a fundraising event in Glasgow city centre. I'm just looking to get some students involved. I was wondering what the best way to go about that would be.
What's it about?
So the event's a jailbreak. Basically, we're all meeting at Glasgow Central, and then everyone has to get as far away as possible without spending any money. And I'm looking for students to actually participate in that.
Why would we do it?
No one actually asked me why would we do it.
Why would we do it?
Yeah, okay. Good question. Why would you do it?
Okay, doesn't matter what you're saying, right? The reason I'm doing that, if you notice, right, so I'm speaking in breaking report tonality with you, right? And you're speaking and you're trying to speak in neutral, right?
Mm.
What will happen if I'm speaking breaking report and you're speaking neutral? I would just cut the conversation. There's like that.
Oh,
just
hang up on them.
think on your head that this is a dead conversation. Try and get
Right,
yourself
okay.
off the phone because you're wasting your time. Because if I'm speaking breaking report, I'm thinking, who the fuck are you? I don't want to fucking speak to you at the moment, right? So regardless of how good your content is, the context is I'm the fucking king and I'm speaking down to you and you're speaking neutral, so therefore, because I'm speaking down to you, you're lower status than me, right? Now, if you started speaking down to me, I can guarantee you very, very quickly we would start getting in an argument on the phone. Because we're both trying to position ourselves as higher status and we're speaking down, and then we're both like, we would just argue. That's fact. That would what would happen. What were you going to say?
So if I'm here, no, and my other person is here, no. So the aim is to find a meeting point, or maybe make the other conversation to put my level.
No.
You know?
So there's three ways that this will happen, right? So either me and you will be speaking, and you'll be speaking. No, there's more ways, right? But I'll tell you more later. You will be speaking in a low status tonality to me, and I'll be speaking either neutral or down to you. So you'll be asking me, how are you? How are you doing? How's life? Blah, 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 blah. And your voice will be going up. And I'll either be saying to you, I'm fine, or I'm fine. Yeah, no, right. That can be switched around. I could be speaking high and you can be speaking that way. The second way where we'll be speaking is where we're both speaking at neutral tonality. Right? So you're saying how are you? I'm saying I'm fine. How are you? Great. That's how friends mostly talk to each other.
Yeah,
unless they're
the
both
same level.
Yeah, unless they're both low status as fuck and that's the way they perceive themselves, and both of them will just be going high all the time like this to each other. Right. But if you generally see a friend as high status and you have quite high self-esteem, you'll normally just speak neutral to each other. It won't be high, it won't be breaking.
This
Right?
is just the habit, no?
Yeah.
To meet friends usually.
It's just normal, right? The other situation is where one of us is speaking breaking rapport or both of us is speaking breaking rapport. So what you want the ideal situation for you is where you're staying neutral and they're going up to you, or you're staying neutral and they're staying the same level as you. Now every now and again you will need to use breaking rapport to get your point across. Like for example with a gatekeeper you might use breaking rapport. If they're being really difficult putting you through, you might use breaking rapport to show them that I'm higher status than you and you better put me through, otherwise shit's going to kick off on a subconscious level, right? But ideally you want to stay neutral, because if you're breaking rapport all the time, you're just a dick, because you're just speaking down to absolutely everyone and no one will like you. So the breaking rapport is more of a spice that you add to the dish. Ideally, where you want to stay is just neutral rapport. That's where you stay, regardless of whether you're speaking to Donald Trump, or you're speaking to fucking Theresa May, or you're speaking to me, or you're speaking to the cleaner. You stay in neutral, and then everyone else either stays neutral with you or they speak up to you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that help?
Mhm.
Right, you're going to practice the shit out of it
Yeah.
because it's not as easy as it sounds.
So it's good is neutral to neutral. The other good is what? Neutral.
All you need to remember is you stay in neutral.
No.
For yourself, you stay in neutral.
Yeah.
Never mind what the other person is doing, because then you're becoming reactive to what they're doing.
Mm.
And if you become reactive, what will start happening is if they're speaking breaking rapport to you, you'll start going up automatically because you're reacting to them. What you want to do is shut them off and just stay neutral yourself all the time, regardless of what's going on. Now, if you pay attention, what you'll realise is with your friends you speak neutral. You'll start to, if you see someone as a piece of shit, whoever it is, right, you'll kind of break rapport with them.
Yeah.
And people that you either don't know or you perceive as higher status than, you'll go up. Once you become aware of that, then you can tweak it easily. Make sense?
Mhm.
Does that make sense to everyone? I was actually planning on going into that, but I might actually do a full session on that.
Yeah, that would be nice. That it's an interesting concept about having arguments, because there's one person in particular that I know I break rapport with them and it pisses her off something ridiculous, and we always get into fights. So if I learned not to do that,
Like what?
maybe we wouldn't fight anymore.
Would you like to give an example?
So it's my dad's girlfriend,
Okay.
and I talk down to her, and it just rubs her up something ridiculous, like the wrong way, and so we like have fights all the time.
You know why?
Because I hate her.
So looking at the dynamics there, basically you don't like her, so you break rapport with her.
Yeah.
Because you like, bitch, who the fuck are you replacing my mum, blah blah
Yeah.
blah, right? She's thinking on her side, I'm her stepmom, she should fucking respect me, I'm higher status than her, as most adults think about kids, right? So when you're breaking rapport to her, she's thinking, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
So she breaks rapport with you, and then when two people are breaking rapport, it's just an argument. So I would just stay neutral with her. Or you should stay neutral with everyone from now on. It's not a case of learning how to not break rapport, it's a case of how to remain neutral at all points and just know when you should break rapport. And high is something you never go, ever, from now on. So if I ever hear you going high from now on, that's it.
I guess we'll all be listening now, so you will
Oh
like.
God.
So you just,
But if someone's high, like if it is genuinely a king, and so someone has a high up status, and you go high up to them, sometimes they would like that, no?
no. Yes and no.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like
So-
like initially you're building that, and then you're like, okay, now we can be neutral because I've
No.
sucked up to you a little bit.
No. Once you go high with them to begin with,
They
they've
don't have
positioned you
respect,
as
yeah.
lower in their mind. So even if you go neutral at that point, they will still see you as lower, regardless of what happens later on. That was how to powerfully build rapport. I hope you all enjoyed this. The only people that are going to be seeing this are JCI members and also the people that were here. So if you're not seeing this, you'll probably be seeing this last clip of this event. So you missed out, unfortunately, but you can come to the next event. We're going to be holding next week and the week after, and probably the week after. You can look us up on facebook.com/JCI Scotland Glasgow. That might be wrong, so just search JCI Glasgow in the page and you'll find us. And Facebook, sorry. You can also find us on Eventbrite as well if you're on there. And soon enough we'll be on YouTube. We're also on Twitter as well, which is JCI Glasgow. I think I'm forgetting the Twitter one as well because I just started using that again. But you can check us out, Facebook, Twitter, Eventbrite, and I hope to see you soon at the next event.